I can cue it with like a minute left. Got somewhere to be now?
No, you
I'm talking to Dale. That's if he's got somewhere to be, looking at his watch.
will. Well, she said it's been a minute, I'm like.
It's the longest minute. It is 6:30, if everybody would stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Dryer, if you would take the roll. Here.
Mr. Sims.
Here.
Mr. Terry. Mr. Udell.
Here.
Ms. Ferguson.
Here.
Mr. Reed.
Here.
Mr. Robert.
Here.
And I'm going to try something different this evening on our approval of the agenda. If there are no amendments to the agenda, I'm going to have the agenda stand as approved. Is there a motion to accept the March 13th council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve March 13th council meeting minutes.
Second.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Udell.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Robert.
Abstain.
All right, thank you. Even though we're here at the end of the month, I would like to present this proclamation on behalf of Women's History Month. I think it's pretty phenomenal that we have a female administrator, our director of finance. She's unfortunately unable to be here this evening, and Parks and Rec director, as well as Ms. Ferguson, councilwoman. But I would like to present and a mayor, and all of the people that are participating, that are a part of the village and helping to shape it, and wanted to not let this month go by without recognizing it. And so I'm going to present this proclamation. Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation, the state of Ohio, and the village of Plain City in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. And whereas American women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of life by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home. And whereas the American women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation, continuously serving wherever needed and constituting the majority of the volunteer labor force to ensure the success of these institutions. And whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, and whereas American women have served and continue to serve our nation courageously in the armed forces, and whereas the village of Plain City is fortunate and grateful to have many exemplary women in positions of leadership within the local government and throughout the village in all aspects of life, including educational, business, philanthropic, religious, and cultural institutions. And whereas all of these women have served important and historic roles throughout the history of Plain City and continue to do so in meritorious ways that exemplify honor, integrity, and visionary leadership. So I'd like to present this to our leaders in our government, and also our many business owners who are women-owned and throughout the village. So thank you for this opportunity, and I want to give our employees a round of applause. With that, March has been kind of a busy month. I attended the Jonathan Alder Strategic Planning meeting along with Mr. Hutchison and Mr. Stanford to further our discussions with the school district on the development that's happening in Plain City and around. March 16th, I attended a luncheon at Jonathan Alder Junior High and talked with the students that were selected to be a part of this group about what it was like life when I was in junior high and how it's different today, and how I, along with other business leaders, what shaped our career paths and what choices we made throughout our school and education that helped to get us to be where we are today, and so that was a neat opportunity and thankful for that. March 20th, celebrated National Ag Day with a proclamation from Union and Madison County Farm Bureaus, and want to thank our local farmers for everything that they do for our community. And April 2nd, which is this Sunday, I conducted an interview with WDLR Radio on 96.7, so at 9 a.m. you can listen to an interview with, I think it's Weevil in the Backyard, and about Plain City and everything that is happening here. So with that, Ms. Sonnet is not here, so Chief McKee, do you have a report this evening?
Believe it or not, I don't have anything this time here.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lupton?
Yeah, thank you. I spoke to the Plain City Business Association last week to give that group a project update. The Uptown Streetscape project on the north side is getting started. The water line and concrete work should start in the next 2 weeks. This Wednesday, coming up, Main Street will be closed to through traffic due to the installation of a manhole. Local traffic can still get around, and we hope that it's done by close of business on Wednesday, but we'll see. And then just wanted to remind everyone that the Easter egg hunt is Saturday at noon at Pastime Park.
Thank you, Ms. Lupton. Mr. Sims, Council President.
Yeah, we have our planning meeting for the work session coming up this Thursday. So those of you that around this table that want to show up to that, let me know so we can check our numbers. And then had a wonderful meeting with some of the Madison County folks this past Friday, and just talk about some of the future growth. And that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Mr. Lafayette,
No report.
Marketing Communications.
We have our next meeting this Tuesday, tomorrow at 6:30.
BZA. Mr. Rucker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We have no meeting this month.
Planning and zoning, we have a meeting on, I believe, the 19th. Thank you. Mr. Hutchison. Parks and Rec, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. We met 2 weeks ago, and we have lively discussions on Parks and Rec. It's of the committees that I've sat in on, it's the most fun committee to be on, I think, because we're always talking about recreation and events that going on in the city. This particular meeting, we went over the event schedule. There's a lot planned ahead of us for the spring and summer, starting, I think, with the Easter egg hunt, which the mayor, I think, is involved with also in that respect. And we had some discussion about the future of Pastime Park, and particularly in relation to if we were able to acquire some additional parkland in the village, substantial parkland, how would that affect or relate to Pastime Park, and how would the two work together? So we're having those discussions in just as a preparation for, we think we might sometime in the future be able to get some more parkland. It's indeterminate at this time. And so, we talked about the issues surrounding that and what the new parkland might be used for. So the last thing, which again, we had some discussion about this, is we have some property next to Darby Creek that was given to us by Darby Station in exchange for something else. And the discussion was about naming it. We plan to, I think, make a nature preserve or something similar to that out of it. It's across the road from McKittrick Park, and it's just well suited to a nature preserve. But so we had a little discussion about naming, and there's probably a jillion names possible from this, and several different ideas about how to go about deciding on naming it. So stay tuned for that in the future. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. You can help stuff Easter eggs tomorrow at the youth building from, I think we're starting at 3 o'clock. So 8,000 Easter eggs, if anybody would like to come by and help those efforts. Personnel and finance, I'm gonna let Ms. Lupton handle this report.
Sure, thank you. We also had a busy meeting last week. We have a new member tonight to be appointed, hopefully, to fill out the committee. Also on tonight's agenda is the recommend of the forgiveness of the old utility debt. This debt is over 3 years old and has been deemed uncollectible. It's just a couple of accounts that we just need to get cleaned up. Also on the agenda tonight is the part-time police wage scale that the committee reviewed and approved. We're going to start updating the employee handbook to incorporate the council's recommended training for employees. We should have a new employee evaluation to council soon for the administrator review. We're talking about financial policies. And then lastly, and we're just gonna need Mr. Lafayette's opinion about how to potentially sell a cruiser to another municipality, how we do that legally.
I spoke to you about donating it, but now I spoke to the mayor of Ostrander, we came up with a price that they could afford to purchase it. I just wasn't for sure how we do that though.
Okay, we can talk afterwards.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, first, I think I need council's approval to go forward with this, the sell of the car, right?
Well, we would write a resolution or something and present it, put on the agenda, but. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Lupton. Fire board, Mr. Rucker?
We have our next meeting, next Thursday, the 6th at 6:30 at the fire station.
Design review board?
We are scheduled to have a meeting this week, however, it has been rescheduled to April 13th to make sure that the public gets their notice in time.
Thank you, Mr. Udaly. Economic Development Committee,
Mr. Stanford has received several applications for the committee, and I believe a few of us will be getting together to go over those soon. So hopefully we'll know in the near future.
thank you, Ms. Ferguson. We do not have any public hearings on the agenda for this evening, so I would like to obtain a motion for appointing Diana McCoy to serve on the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I'll motion to appoint Diana McCoy to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I will second.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Rucker.
Yes.
And is there a motion to appoint Beth Pothas to serve on the Personnel and Finance and CIP Committee?
I will motion for Beth.
I'll second.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Rucker.
Yes.
And a motion accepting Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation to approve PZ-13 final plat for Darby Station, Section 4, Part 1-2.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, sorry.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Rucker.
Yes.
Moving into old business, second reading resolution 7-2023, statement of services available to the proposed annexation of 10910 and 10930 Lafayette Plain City Road.
Motion to approve second reading resolution 07-2023.
Second?
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Rucker.
Yes.
Second reading resolution 8-2023, adopting the Uptown Master Plan.
So move to adopt the resolution 08-2023.
Second.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Rucker.
Yes.
Moving into new business, first reading ordinance 04-2023, authorizing the village administrator to award the contract for the Notman Road Area Improvements Project to Aramo Construction. First reading resolution 9-2023, amending the police department part-time employee wage scale. First reading resolution 10-2023, authorizing the write-off of bad debt from past due and uncollectible utility accounts. And with that, that will conclude our portion of the public meeting. We are about to go into an executive session, and we will not be coming back with any further new business. So do I have a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G8 to consider confidential information related to negotiations with other political subdivisions?
Motion that we will go into executive session for section 121.22G8.
Second.
Mr. Sins,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.